everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to do a tag video. And this is a very special tag. This is the Read Doris tag, all in celebration of Doris's 50th birthday. And I am super excited to be doing this tag. This is an original tag that was created by Britta Bowler and Sean the Book Maniac. I will link their channels down below. And they had this awesome idea to celebrate Doris by doing a tag for her birthday. And today is Doris's birthday. Happy birthday, Doris! So I'm just going to go through this list of prompts. But before I do that, I want to encourage everybody to do this tag. Even if I don't tag you, please do it. And the hashtag for the tag is hashtag Read Doris. So prompt 1 is, D is for Doris, a book written by and or about a Doris. I will tell you that it's very difficult to find a book with a protagonist named Doris. Our Doris is not wrong when she says that it's very unusual to find a book about a Doris. So I am picking a book with the author's name is Doris, and that's Doris Kearns Goodwin, and the book is Team of Rivals. You guys all know I've been doing a presidential reading challenge. I've already gone past Abraham Lincoln, but everybody keeps raving about Doris Kearns Goodwin's book about Abraham Lincoln called Team of Rivals. There was even a movie made about it. So I really need to go back and pick that one up and read that one as well, in addition to the 2 books I already read about Abraham Lincoln. It's fine. It's fine. I will get all the books read about the presidents. Honestly, I will. Question 2. O is for outside your comfort zone. A book you have read or want to read that was, well, outside your comfort zone. So for that, I'm picking this book, Come As You Are, The Surprising New Science That Will Transform Your Sex Life by Emily Nagoski. This book has been on my bedside table for about 3 years now. It was widely praised when it first came out, which was, let's see if I can find the publication date when this first was published, 2015. So everybody says it's a great book, all about women's sexuality, and it's something that, I want to know more about, but for whatever reason, it makes me extremely uncomfortable to lug this book around. So I can only read it when I'm at home, A, and B, I don't really want to even read it when anybody else in the house is awake, which is so ridiculous because I read romance novels and I'm not at all bothered by letting anybody in the world see what I'm reading for a romance novel. But an actual nonfiction book about women's sexuality, for whatever reason, it makes me uncomfortable. So I just need to get over myself and finish this book. I've actually started this book, and it's very well written and very readable. I just need to get over myself and go back to this. I don't know why I don't. It's just, I think, it's just the way I was raised. We didn't talk about things like that, and I just, for whatever reason, it makes me personally uncomfortable. So question 3 is, R is for recommended, a book, topic, or theme that Doris featured on her channel that intrigued you. So Doris is constantly talking about books that intrigue me. I mean, half of my books read list would be books that Doris has either talked about or recommended or I've buddy read with her. So I'm going to pick Shark Drunk, The Art of Catching a Large Shark from a Tiny Rubber Dinghy in a Big Ocean by Morton Strauxness. This book, Doris has featured a couple of times. It's on her TBR. It's a nonfiction she's had for a while. We actually plan to buddy read this next month, so I feel pretty confident saying I think I'm going to get to this soon. But it's all about 2 guys that go out in a rubber dinghy, as it says on the cover, to try to catch the infamous Greenland shark. So they're up in just north of the Arctic Circle trying to catch a shark. I mean, sounds amazing, and sounds like it's right up Doris and I's alley because we love science books, we love nonfiction, adventure books, and this sounds like it's going to have some of each. So, and not only this book, I mean, Doris is constantly doing themed reading that I'm intrigued by and I participate in. Like in January, we did she was doing South African themed reading, and we buddy read 2 South African books together. Well, actually, we read 1 South African book together because she bailed on the other one. The year before that, her January theme was for Asian fiction, and we buddy read oh my God, The Court Dancer, and that was just hilarious. It was so funny. We both just kept sending each other messages about how ridiculous some of the dialogue and some of the sex description was in that book. So just love Doris's recommendations and her themed reading, and it just has enhanced my reading all over the place ever since I've gotten to know her on BookTube. Okay, question 4. I is for Indeed. She's crazy about cats and bees and ... A book about cats or bees or any other animal, or notably featuring them in the story and on the cover. So I'm going to put a picture up here of The Bees by Lillian Paul. I read this book actually before I started participating in BookTube. It is a novel that is told from the perspective of a female bee, a worker bee, who over the course of her life takes on several different roles within the hive. And so it tells all about sort of like the maneuverings of the bees within the hive. And that sounds weird. I know it's like anthropomorphizing bees, but it was actually a really fascinating story. It was almost like a fantasy read, because you had all these different factions within the bee colony, and they were kind of like trying to get power and keep power. And this one poor worker bee was just trying to like live her life, and stay out of the way of a lot of other bees. And it was an excellent book. I really, really enjoyed it. And it has a fabulous cover, and it's all about bees. So, and I think Doris has actually read this book now. Question 5. S is for Skyrocket. A book you think Doris might like and that you want her to read. Let's get that Tower of Doom up into the stratosphere. So I have 2 books that I'd like to add to Doris's Tower of Doom. One of which I think I've talked about before, but I really think Doris would like Tales of a Shaman's Apprentice. An ethnobotanist searches for new medicines in the Amazon rainforest. This is by Mark Plotkin. And this covers 2 topics that Doris likes, which is, one is science and science nonfiction, and 2, adventure nonfiction. This book kind of combines them both. It's all about a botanist that travels into the rainforest to try to find tribes that are utilizing natural remedies for medicines. So how they're using different plants, and different, not just plants, but other natural concoctions basically for medicines. And it was really a great book. I read this when I was in college, which was a long time ago now, and it still has stuck with me as a very good read and a fun adventure. The other book I would like to recommend to Doris is My Family and Other Animals by Gerald Durrell. This is actually an older book. Let me see when this was first published. It's been out for I think it was like mid 20th century. 1956, this was first published. So this is a nonfiction memoir about, it's told from the perspective of 10-year-old Jerry, whose family travels from England to the Greek island of Corfu, and they live there for a while. And he is just like fascinated with animals and critters and creepy crawlies, and he just like spends all of his time on this island like trying to like gathering wild critters and then trying to get them to live in his house. And his family's quite eccentric. They're British, but they're like the eccentric British family. He's constantly got things like snakes, scorpions, magpies, dogs, butterflies, bats, geckos, ladybugs. I mean, the kid brings everything home and tries to keep it alive in his house, and shenanigans ensue. This is a great book, especially if you're looking for sort of a cozy, comfy read. I think this book would really fit the bill, and I definitely recommend it. Okay, that's all the prompts, and now there's nothing left but for me to tag people. I would like to tag Tanya from The Sampler Girl, Kazan from Ever Always Doing, Jen from Remembered Reads, and Sonia from An Enthusiastic Reader. And if I didn't name you here, please feel free to do this tag. I think the more of us that do it, the more the fun for Doris on her birthday. So I highly encourage everyone to do this tag and participate, and remember to use the hashtag Read Doris so that we can all find your videos. Also, there's a bonus prompt. I don't want to forget that. And the bonus is to create a TBR out of some or all of the books you mentioned for this tag and celebrate Doris's birthday by reading your heart out. So I am going to I definitely know I'm going to be reading Shark Drunk in April with Doris. So that's on the TBR. And I'm going to recommit to Come As You Are. And I'm going to try to get over myself and get this book read finally and off my nightstand. That would be awesome. So thank you very much, Britta and Sean, for thinking of me when putting this tag together. Doris, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Thank you so much for being my booktube friend. I think you're great. And I will talk to you all later.